Welcome back to this channel. In our today's section, we are going to learn how to use letterhead or how to design letterhead using Microsoft Word. So what is letterhead? A letterhead is the printed heading at the top of a business or organizational official document. Of course, oftentimes letterhead contain the company name, the logo, the address, the phone number, the website, and so on. So how can we design a simple letterhead using Microsoft Word? I'll launch into Microsoft Word, then we'll begin the process. So I'll click on my start button as usual, then on my search area, or go to my all documents, locate Microsoft Word, or I can simply type the W-O-R-D, Word. Then the app is loading, then I'll click on open, where my Microsoft Word will be open. So our aim today is how to design a simple letterhead. I'll click on my blank document so that I can start the design from the scratch. So this is how my Microsoft Word environment looks like. So to design my letterhead, first you must know the name of the company, you must have the email address, you must have the phone number. If possible, the logo should be made available. So we are doing a very simple letterhead paper today. So what will be the name of the company I'm designing this letterhead paper for is known as NBN Tech World. NBN Tech World. So to commence, this is the we call in our previous class we call this header, and just below the page document we call this the footer. So oftentimes the header paper is always at the top here, the design is always at the top here. To avoid complex challenges, we will start by using the insert command. We'll go to insert command, we go to where we have our illustration group, we click on our shapes. On the arrow pointing down, we are going to use the text box. Why I prefer the text box is that it will give me the ability for me to draw where I want my text to be. So I draw my text there, I'll type inside there the name of my organization. So I'm designing this letterhead for NBN Tech World. So after, remember I had to draw my text box from the insert, drag to draw, then type inside it NBN Tech World. Then I'll go back to my home tab. I'll click on my font. Under my font group, under my font, I'll look for a text that will match with what I want. So I'll click on my Arial black. I need to highlight my text. Click from one point to the action to highlight the text. Go back to my font, Arial black. Then I will increase the font by clicking on this bigger A to increase font size. I will increase it to be as big as what I want. So I can equally expand here too. Using this node, I can expand here NBN Tech World. So if the font size is okay to what you want, you can choose to use it this way. Or preferably, you can reduce the font size, then, or probably, let me increase it again. So 36, I can decide to use 40. I can type the font size directly there. Inside this font size, I can click in there and change it to 45. So it depends on what you want. NBN Tech World. After typing this using the text box, I can shift it to the extreme because I want to insert my logo, the logo of the organization here. So I'm going to, somebody will ask me now, how do I remove these lines here? The outline, we call it the outline. To remove the outline of the text box, you click on shape format. Shape format is a contextual tab. If I click outside, I won't see the shape format, but if I click inside my text box that I inserted, I will see my shape format. So on the shape format, I'll click on the shape field. I will say no field. I'll say shape outline, no outline. So when I click outside, my NBN Tech World stands on its own. So what I did here, when I click inside again, we have the text box there. So I had to insert the text box. After inserting the text box, I had to go to my shape format and remove the field and remove the outline using the shape field and the shape outline command. I'm going to type something inside it again. Abuja, Nigeria. I want Abuja, Nigeria to be at the extreme here. So I'll go back to my insert tab. What I'll be using now are basically my shape tool under my text box. I'm using text box virtually all through. So I'll drag to draw again. I'll type inside there. My office is in Abuja, Nigeria. So I'll take it just to the extreme here. First, let me format it. I'll go back to my home tab, highlight the text inside the text box, go back here, then select this font, Arial Round Empty Bold. When I click on it, I like the way the size is, so I'll go back, drop it by the side here. So, and of course, how do I remove the outline of this text box? I'll click inside it, my shape format, I'll click on it again, go back to my field, select no field, go back to my field. I'm going to try it again. Go back to my field, select no field, go back to my outline, select no outline. Then when I click outside, I'm seeing there Abuja, Nigeria. So I'm going to include now the logo of my organization. If you have the logo already in your system, I want to show how to insert the logo at the left hand side here. Left hand side. Don't forget, other letterhead paper may have the logo above here, while some will have it at the center here. It's a matter of choice. But I'm going to place my logo at the left hand side. So I'll go back to Insert tab, where I have picture here, how to insert your logo, and already designed logo in the system. Insert tab, go to my picture, go this device. So you want to check your device, your computer, where the logo is. I'll click on it. Start clicking on it. I'll wait for it to load. Take me to my download. On my download, I'll select this image. This is where the image is. I'm going to click on it twice. I'll have the image inserted there. So this is how my image, my logo looks like. But I'm going to format this logo so I can place it at the top left here. But first and foremost, this logo cannot move from one place to another. What you must do first is that at the right hand side, where you have the layout option, you click on the list there. On the drop down, you select this option that is called in front of text. You have to click on in front of text for the logo to start moving around, so that it can be flexible, so that I can format and make it smaller. So when I click on it in front of text, I can now come to the right, the note here, shrink it a little, then take it up here, shrink it this way diagonally, so that everything will still maintain its size. Then I can always place it there. But if you look at the way it is now, it's not well formatted. So I'm going to come to my picture styles, picture style, then select this style. This is the style that will suit what I'm doing. So I'll select this style. Even at then I'm going to reduce it a little again. This is my company's logo for the ambient tech world. So after reducing it to that level, I can still reduce it a little again. Then I can place my logo at this extreme. So that is how to insert a logo into your letterheaded paper. So what next? I'm going to type in the address, the phone number, and the email address of my company. So I'll click on the insert. Then of course go back to my shapes. I want to type in now, select my text box. So I'll drag to draw. So I'll type inside there, phone number. Let's start with the phone number. Phone number. Then I use my column, +234 space 0. Okay, I'll move it 080 377 64705. Then I may choose to leave it this way. Then duplicate this. How do I duplicate? To duplicate this text, you can rest your hand on control and touch your D to duplicate. So I've duplicated the same thing here. So what will I do now? I can come in here and put here email address, email address, email. Now use my column there. Then I change this to the email address of the organization. So I can use Kano Basi Kano at gmail.com. So I can equally expand it to accommodate, to make it on a straight line. Then, of course, to remove the outline of your text of the text box, you click inside, go back to your page format, select the outline, the drop down on the outline, say no outline. Same thing here, go back to the outline, select no outline. So you can now adjust your text to be at this point. Your text again, drag it, take it up to be at this point. You can click your logo, then drag it up to take the shape up there. So this is how it looks like. So you can equally click on the text, highlight the text, apply the bold command so that it can be thicker. Same thing with your phone number, click on it, highlight, make it bold. So that's how you can bold your text on your letterhead. Then we have to want to introduce a straight line, a line that would differentiate this and the normal document on the text. So what do? I'll go to my insert tab. I'll now select my shapes where I got my text box. We're not using text box now. We're going to use this line shape. On the line shape, I'm going to click from one point. I'm going to click from this point, drag it to the right hand side, then stop there. Try to straighten the line at this point, then leave it at that point. Then I want to increase the width of the line. Under your shape format, we have the shape outline. On the outline, you go down to where you have the width. Then the width, you can increase the width to be 6 points. 6 points width. So you can click on it and adjust your width by clicking it up. You can always bring it down and click it up here. You can decide to change the color of your text by clicking on it, or you highlight the text, drag from the left hand side to the right hand side, or vice versa from the right hand side to the left hand side. Go back to your home tab, then make your choice depending on the color you want. You can choose the color depending on the color of your organization. You can select this color or this color or any color of your choice. You can always do that to all the text here. You can highlight the text and change the color. So we're going to type in RF and date on our letterhead. We're going to go back to insert tab, select the shapes, select the text box, then drag to draw. We're typing the RF, then column. In most cases, we have the underscore. You hold your hand on the shift key and touch your minus sign on the keyboard. You have the minus, the underscore sign being inserted in your document. Same thing I did when I typed my phone number. I'm going to duplicate it, Ctrl+D to duplicate. Click on the text, click on the line, Ctrl+D to duplicate, then drag it to the right hand side, and here I'm going to include my dates. So I'm going to format this now by clicking on it, going to my shape format and say no outline, no outline. So I won't have those my lines on my text. So I'll click here and select no outline for both. So I'm going to click and make it a little bit bold, take it up a little, bold the text, highlight from the left to the right, then go back to my home tab and select my bold. Same thing to my date. I'll click and highlight from the left to the right, select my bold. So this is how we can do a very simple letterhead. We're going to learn how to insert watermark to our organization. So how do we do that now? We go to design. On the design, we have the themes, the document formatting, we have the set as default, we have the watermark. On the watermark, you click on the arrow pointing down where you have confidential, do not copy. Let us customize our watermark. On the customize point here, we have no watermark, picture watermark. We want to use the text watermark. You can choose to use your logo as your watermark, the logo of the organization. Let's see how we can use a picture as the watermark. Let's try that first. When you select picture watermark, you click on select picture, then you allow work offline. You don't want it to be online. Then you select your the logo of your organization, then you click on apply. When you click on apply and click on OK, if possible you close, you can see this logo MBN Tech World just at the center. This is the sign of the watermark. This is the sign of the watermark. Otherwise, you can choose to use text as your watermark, or you can customize that. You can make the picture to be auto, or you can increase the picture size to be 100%. Let's see how 100% will look like. You see how big it is on the body. When I close, you see how the 100% of the watermark is. I think we will stick to this. We'll stick to this, the watermark of your organization. So you're using your organizational logo as the watermark. And lastly, we want to just decorate the footer of our letterhead paper. We want to just apply a little effect here. I'll click on my home tab, go back to my insert, select my shapes, go back to my, I'm going to use now this rectangle to design the footer of my letterhead paper now. So I'll be here. So we've drawn this rectangle. How do we apply text to it? You right click on the rectangle. When you right click on it, you see add text. So my text should have innovation for tomorrow. Innovation for tomorrow. So I want to adjust this rectangle. Now I can click and drag it to the extreme or to the right. Then I can try to change the text of the innovation for tomorrow. Go back to home tab and select any color of my choice. Any color of my choice. So the text below there has this color, while the base has this color. So this is how we can design a simple letterhead paper. If you have a question, don't forget to drop the question in the comment section. Like and share the video how to do a simple letterheaded paper for your organization. So if I print this now, this is how it looks like on the print preview. MBN Tech World, the phone number of the organization, the email address, where it is located, the date, and the ref. Then below it, this is how it looks like. Thank you for your time. See you in my next class.